Thank you, everyone. Welcome to MGC. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Dustin Valero. I am one of the marketing reps over at Hyperkin. So today we're going to talk about what our new line is for 2014, and of course we're going to talk a little bit more about what we debuted last year, the Retron 5. We're going to give you some new updates on that, and maybe a few more things. So you know us, we're Hyperkin. We make things like the Retron 2, 3, the Superboy. I'm sure some of you have played some of these. But our theme this year is, hey, it's the 90s. This is what our focus is on in 2014. So first off, we're going to talk with our GN6, our new Genesis controller. We're calling it Rage Strong. The new Hyperkin GN6 controller is improved build quality. It's none of this third-party crap that you've been playing with. It is one for one, the best replica ever made of a Genesis controller. So much so that when we've gone to trade shows, people think it's the real thing. They only realize it's not a Sega controller when they look down and it has Hyperkin right on it. And as a matter of fact, the reviews on Amazon are just the same. People are calling this the best third-party controller for a Sega Genesis that they've ever used. So here's a video of what we've been doing. Who wants to play? Probably doesn't, but we'll go ahead and we'll be showing off our videos of all of our products at our booth. We're in room 171. The next one we want to talk about is the N64 circuit controllers. We want to make these to stand the test of time. We're available in 13 colors. Every limited edition color of the N64 controller is available through our Circa brand. We have an improved analog stick. No more sticking the way that any other third-party controller has. Third-party controllers usually don't use the optical systems. We're using an improved system that actually has 14 to 21 points of articulation, very, very much emulating what the optical system did. It's a very, very precise controller. And the look and feel is that one-to-one with the original N64 controller. Now, of course, we got to talk about Retron 5. The Retron 5 is our most ambitious product so far. This is what we've been working on for the past year and a half. Retro gaming in 720p high definition. What we're doing is we have an SD card slot, so you can put screenshots. You can go ahead and put your game saves. We actually have a built-in Game Genie on here, a wireless controller, and original controller support, 2 for each, Genesis, NES, and Super NES. But we're running not just a clone system. This is not the typical clone system that you see from some of our competitors. We're actually doing something that is a marriage of software and hardware. The software is what we're running is Retron OS. And what we provide is video smoothing and HD upscaling with a high-definition graphical user interface. We allow for save states. No longer do you have to die and go all the way back in Sonic or Mario. You can actually save at any point in your game and return to it even when you turn the console off. We have overclocking. Say you want to play Phantasy Star. If you want to go ahead and fast forward through the rest of the attacks and go back to you can do that with a hit of the button on our hotkeys. We have screenshot capability. At any time you can hit a hotkey on our Retron 5 controller, or you can even map a hotkey configuration on an original controller and take screenshots and it's saved to your SD card. We have a built-in cheat system powered by Game Genie for NES, Super NES, Genesis, Master System, and Mega Drive. We have full region unlocking. You can play any game from any region, from any time, period. We also have, not the laptop calling. We have a software-based multi-tap. So not only do you not need the original multi-tap, you can actually have a combination of whatever controllers you want. You want to play Bomberman for the SNES, you can play that with 2 SNES controllers, 2 Genesis controllers, 2 Retron 5 wireless controllers. You can do 4 Retron 5 wireless controllers and a Super NES controller. You can mix and match whatever you want on this system. We allow for full software-based multi-tap. We also have game save backup. We all know how a battery backup on, for instance, a Zelda card eventually goes out. What we do is, as long as the battery is good at the very beginning of you inserting the game into the Retron 5, we will back up that game and extract the file from the battery backup and save it onto solid-state storage inside of our Retron 5. So you never have to lose that data ever again. We also have fully customizable button mapping with custom preferences for each system. You can go ahead and play any of your games with any controller. You want to play Mario with a Genesis controller? By all means, if you want to blaspheme that way. If you want to go ahead and have, if you want to play Sega, if you want to play a Sega Genesis game, if you want to play Sonic with a Super Nintendo controller, by all means. We allow for any game to play with any controller. Now granted, it has to have the number of buttons. For instance, if you want to play Street Fighter, you obviously can't play with an NES controller. I mean, you can try, but... And so we'll be showing our Retro Reloaded video at our room in 171. Now, there's something else that we have. A new Retron that we're announcing here at MGC. We know that we've had some requests for something in particular. We're working on that. However, there's something where we wanted to move in a new direction, and considering that we're really pushing the 90s, let me introduce you to the Retron x86. The Retron x86 is designed for classic MS-DOS games. We're doing a fully functional Linux-based computing system with HDMI output at 1080p. We're also doing the entire design in a computer in the keyboard based design. It's based off of the VIC-20. But we're going to be doing a modern design language for it while still keeping that Commodore aesthetic. We're running an ARM-based CPU, 520 megabytes of RAM, an SD card slot capable of high capacity up to 128 gigabytes, HDMI out. You have 2 USB 3.0 ports, Bluetooth capability with including low energy at 4.0, and Wi-Fi 802.11n. We've actually been able to play Quake 3 Arena. That's how far we've been at, about 45 to 60 frames a second. So that's the kind of horsepower that we're running on this thing. But we ran everything from the classic old James Bond games to Oregon Trail to Doom to Quake. Any game that you want to play from 1986 to 1999 can be played on the Retron x86. Because with this system, we want you to command your game. So on top of that, the system is a full Linux-based computer. So not only can you play your games, but you can have a starter, hobbyist level Linux computer. So I'd like to continue, I'd like for everyone's continued support of Hyperkin. We appreciate the type of support that we get over the years. And we're willing to take any questions or any Q&A. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. We're willing to take any Q&A that you guys want to have. So if we have any questions, either on the Retron 5, the x86. Retron 5 is coming out. You will see it guaranteed within the next 30 days. The
how about x86? When's that?
x86 will be coming out this fall, and we're looking at a price point of $99. The Retron 5, I know everyone's been waiting on it. It is not vaporware. It is definitely coming. And the thing is that we're trying to get retail packaging in. Retail packaging is done. Production is on its way. It is actually going right now. We're putting Retron 5s on boats as we are talking. So that's what's going on with it. It is coming out, and you will see it within the next 30 days. We had a little bit, I know that we said that we were going to come out in April. I know that at the very beginning of April, we said that we were going to be coming out. This time, it wasn't our fault. We had actually a shipping error that was going on in Hong Kong. Well, what are we going to do? So we wanted to make sure that we moved it over. I do, however, want to address an issue that people have had over pre-orders. I recognize that people have pre-ordered the Retron 5, and they're really excited about it. The great thing about it, though, is the reason that we waited and we took the time till April, we actually have been able to double the amount of feature set from the original release. As a matter of fact, in the latest firmware, we're able to have instantaneous loading of games. You plug it in, and you play it right then and there, full feature set, no loading required. If any of you have seen the beta units beforehand, kind of how to load the game in. On top of that, fully customizable profiles was not in the original release. On top of that, we had a couple of games that we still needed to fix at the beginning of December, and we wanted to continue that. So, any Castlevania game, any Mario game, and any Mega Man game, any game with a Super FX chip, we have reached so close to 100% compatibility, I can taste it. So, do you have any other questions?
So, you mentioned pulling the game saves off onto the SD card.
Yep.
Say you're playing like Chrono Trigger at a friend's house on their SNES.
If you can save it onto if you have a Retron 5, you can save it on the SD card and swap them out.
But, so, if you're playing the game on the Retron, let's say on the battery.
You can do it backwards and forwards. You can actually extract the save, and we know how to upload the save as well. So you can upload the save as well.
For the x86, back in the day, it seemed like there were dozens of different VGA cards and different games that worked only with one.
Right.
Do you support like Paradise or ATI? Or
What we're trying to look at is we're trying to do. We're actually in the product development stage for the x86. We are looking at doing 100% compatibility, as we've always done. That seems to be our reputation. And so we're working right now with software emulation to see how we can actually do that. So, but yes, the goal is to have all of those different cards and all of those different games be supported.
Do you have a Retron 5 at your booth?
Yes. If you want to go to if we're in room 171, you guys want to play Retron 5, we've brought a ton of games, and we're going to be there all day for your pleasure to go ahead and try out the Retron 5. Is anybody else?
The Game Boy Advance has the Retron 5. Does that run Game Boy Color, Game Boy, just Retron, or just the
The Game Boy cart runs Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance across all regions.
same thing with the battery station?
You can still extract. As a matter of fact, the way that the Retron 5 is programmed, the first thing it does automatically is when you put in your game and has a battery backup on it, it will automatically extract the file. So, if there's no other questions, thank you very much for your attention. I really encourage you to join us at the Hyperkin room over in 171. I'm very excited. I'll be able to answer any questions that you have about the Retron 5, the x86, anything that you guys want to ask about. You can guys go ahead and check out. We have all samples of all the products that we've shown up here today in our room at 171. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Dustin from Hyperkin.